Hey, what's up, classmates? I'm en route to go meet Casper himself. We should all be in for a great treat. And let's see what we have in store for the day, huh?
Now this my message for all indigenous people throughout the world. Roots awakening and Casper come again. Are you ready?
Hey, how y'all doing? Casper Lamasva here from the Hopi Nation in northeastern Arizona. I'm at the center of the universe. There's 3 mesas in Hopi, and I happen to be on one of them. 3 mesas consist about 4 to 5 villages per mesa. So everybody, each mesa has their own dialect, it seems, and there's a whole different network of dialects within that system. So it's pretty intriguing. I'm glad to be a part of this. So it's nice to be one of the original peoples of the area, you know what I mean? So it's nice to also be a part of the project. So Zolima in Hopi, that means, hello, and I'm glad to be a part of this project. The music I grew up listening to was a blend. I like to call it a tribal stew of stuff. Obviously, the traditional, the culture, powwow. Love the drums. It's part of the heartbeat. But I also love Rolls Royce and Cameo, and the Brothers Johnson. I mean, I grew up in an era where Carlos Santana was king. You know what I mean? Bob Marley, Peter Tosh. I mean, they were part of that puzzle. But there was a lot of beautiful music coming out of the radio. I mean, even a local radio station. So yeah, man, there's a lot of influences. It's good to be a part of taking all those influences and making them your own tribal stew. I had a Jamaican friend tell me that reggae music was Jamaican gospel, and the message was always about peace and unity and good things. But on the other side of the coin, you also talk about the oppression, the poverty, and this is a third world country. And I could relate to that because Hopi's the same way. Where I come from is the same thing. The police system also caught my attention when I was in Jamaica because I seen that most of the locals were the ones getting harassed the most by the local police, not the tourists. And it's kind of the same scenario where I come from. It's just a change in cultures. People's views on things are different. So that's what I thought was interesting in reggae. I think the biggest thing that I was instructed basically by my grandfather, who I had the most respect for, was to not exploit our family name, because they were afraid that, there's other people who have a huge family, and we don't want to offend some of those people, thinking that there is such a thing as jealousy and envy, and guess what? We even have it where I come from. So it was just one of the things out of respect that I just used my own Hopi name as opposed to using our family name, because we thought it was safer, cause no grief, no problems. Well, we've had the opportunity to play music all over the world, in all different kinds of venues. But I'd have to say that, we get the biggest response from those that really know us, that follow our music through Indian country. The singing wire, you know what I mean? There's a whole network of organic radio stations within Indian country that sponsor our message and what we do. So I'd have to say our crowds are definitely mostly native, and the empowerment is a blessing, definitely. One example of being involved within Native American community is taking part in a straw bale house building party. It's wicked, beautiful. It's alternative housing that we're using here in the Southwest, specifically where I come from in Hopi, where the theory is that you build a frame and you use straw bales as your wall. You shore it up, you cover it with mud, and it's an excellent source of insulation. You know what I mean? It contains, all that straw contains cellulose, which is non-digestible by humans and animals. So it's a great alternative to affordable housing. And I actually have a friend who built a home for less than $15,000, and 28 days later has a castle. So that to me is progress within Native American community and my involvement, and love it. The obstacles never stop. Even after 25 years of doing this, there's still, lots of Babylon system you have to go through. And I just look at them as the trials and tribulations. That's what makes this music real, in my opinion. If you don't have nothing to sing or write about, what's the message you're gonna deliver? And I think it's important, absolutely, to be in the thick of things. Well, what's the cliche? The message is in the music, and I think this is no exception. They're just songs of my thoughts. They're just lyrics that turn into melodies that, happen to affect how people think, I guess. And I don't mind sharing that. And it's a blessing to be able to write songs for people. I had the opportunity to play the New Orleans Jazz Festival one year, and it was incredible. It was an incredible experience, to be able to be on the same stage as Tina Marie on that particular day. She actually came on after us, and Tina Marie, is a legend. But I think the lesson learned from that was that the stage that I was on was called the Congo stage. And it happened to be, like I said, it was huge, it was beautiful. But I found out later the history behind that particular stage was that was the only place the slaves could go on a Sunday to unwind one day out of that whole week of picking cotton during the time of slavery. The masters gave them one day to go and rest and recuperate for a busy week. As a slave, it's nonstop. And that's where they went. So the Congo stage, that was what it represented to me, as what my purpose was and how I had to represent. I think the highlight, and I had a lot of them, thank you, Ja, in my life, no joke. I think the one that stands out the most to me was having the opportunity to meet so many of them. Freddie Fender, no joke, Freddie Fender from the Texas Tornadoes. He's the one that wrote the song. He had that hit, Wasted Days and Wasted Nights. It's a beautiful song. And I used to hear him on the radio as a youth. My parents loved him, and so I would listen to his music, and actually had the opportunity to sit down and reason with him. And he's passed. He passed away about 6 years ago. But it was nice to actually be on the same stage with somebody that was, he was a big influence on my life, in the sense that he brought back the memory of where I became, where I had started from, the essence of where, It's like a memory. You hear this song and it's like, that reminds me of this time, this era. And that's what that meant to me, to actually reason with him. He had a theory that, that the Hopi people are descendants from an Asian culture. There might be some credibility. This is all theory. They also believe, there's a theory that the Hopi came from Mexico. A little bit more believable since we're in the Southwest. However, who's to say? All I know is this: Hopi have been here 4,000 years. That's a pretty long time. .602 and Casper are hand in hand. We've been playing music together for, I mean, since the beginning of this project, releasing our first record in 1995. As the years go, as artists, you know, sometimes you want to do your own thing, in a sense that you might work with one of the band members as opposed to the whole, or you might go outside the circle, so to speak, and do other projects, you know, and that's kind of what we do. 602 is the wickedest backing band in the Southwest, not just back in Casper, but also backing headliners that come through here constantly. So, you know, absolutely, they have their own direction, and when we come together, it's what we do. The music will still forward, regardless of who's doing it, as long as somebody's doing it. Well, first of all, I'm humbled that somebody would drive 6 hours, you know, on their own schedule to come and reason with me. Being that, you know, I'm a pretty busy person myself, you know, the music is just one thing I do. You know, I also am a full-time college student. I'm pursuing a degree in sustainable energy in the urban planning sense, you know, where I can, maybe there's somewhere down the road with that piece of paper that I put in a frame, I can help a community within Indian country build, you know, homes that we can utilize the sun's energy, the wind, and just all the alternative energy that we have out there. But I'm an everyday person, you know, I work my ass off, and I also have a full-time job working for an engineering firm where I'm basically, right now, because I'm a part-time student, had to basically become a part-time employee per se. How do you become a part-time employee working 90 hours a week and going to college? You know what I'm saying? It's just for the books, I guess, I don't know, but I'm very busy. And I also have a family, you know, a lot of issues there, you know how that goes. Life continues, and I've always said that life is a burden, but it's how you carry that burden. And the music seems to feed my spirit, whereas my day job takes care of the bills, and, you know, gotta have something. I always tell everybody around me that knows me, even a tumbleweed has a purpose. So I think this is my purpose. And I wanted to say bless up every time, enough respect, and thank you for having me. But quiet.